I had a really great comment yesterday from someone who said, I notice in your videos that your dogs stick with you, and they're usually within about 15 feet of each other. Now, right now, Nikita's chasing Laddie. But usually they're right with me, and she said, how do you achieve that with your dogs? How do you get, come on, Lad. Laddie. Good boy, come here. So she said, how do you achieve that with your dogs? How do you get them to do that without a leash, without treats? And I'm like, really, how do I do that? You know, because quite honestly, with most of these dogs, I did not do a lot of training when they were little, but what I did was a lot of bonding, a lot of bonding. And I think that is so overlooked. I suggested to her, you know, do the hand targeting and use the meal for teaching your dog to follow. You know, that's a really good way to go. I mean, you've got the food and you walk a little ways and you feed them. I don't have any food, or I could demonstrate it. But you've seen the videos on hand targeting. And I don't know if I've done a video on follow. I'll look. But basically, it's just targeting in motion. It's just walking a little ways and then putting your hand down and giving your dog a piece of its food. I don't have any food, but my dogs all came to see what I had, or if I had anything, or just to say hello. But there's so much to having dogs that will do this, that just stick with me. I'm out here on 40 acres of woods and pasture with a fence that a dog can go right through. There are deer, there are rabbits, there are squirrels, there are birds. There's every kind of interesting thing in the world out here for these dogs, and they stick right with me, and I don't have to nag them about it. I just, you know, I've taught them all to walk when I walk, stop when I stop, keep 4 on the floor. And this is my I'm in motion whistle and my change of direction whistle. You know, and they know what this means. So, but they just do it. And I think so much of it is just building the bond when they're puppies. I mean, you can search the internet over, you can search the YouTube over, and you're not going to find a whole lot on bond building. It's all sit and down and yes, and luring dogs along with treats. And I don't use commands with my dogs, you've noticed. You know, I'm not sitting here nagging them to sit, nagging them to down, nagging them at all. And I think if you're a naggy trainer who is weak energy, using a lot of treats, that's a turnoff to a dog. I think a dog wants this. They want a strong leader who knows where he or she is going and expects the dogs to move along with. I mean, that's just what I've been doing my whole life, basically. But it's real hard to convey to other people how to achieve that in their dog. But I would say the number one way is sitting, I mean, you've watched, people so underestimate the power of this. Sitting on the floor with your puppy. Bonding with your puppy. Now, bonding doesn't mean, here's how you destroy the relationship and destroy the bond, is grabbing the puppy in the face, pulling its face up to you, holding the puppy and kissing it all over, patting it like this. Okay, dogs hate all of that. if you want to relate to a dog, don't relate to it like it was a human, because it is not, N-O-T, a human being. It is an animal. It's a dog, and it has innate ways that it understands when you're handling it in, okay, if you're handling the dog in a way that it likes to be handled, then it feels a connection to you because it feels like you understand it. Which means you're not going to grab it off the floor really fast, pull it up really hard, squeeze it, kiss it, hug it, and squeal. That's how you ruin the bond with your dog. Get on the floor at your dog's level, sit there, have your puppy come up, scratch it on the chest, scratch it on the tail head, right on the butt, right above its tail. It's so hard to teach people just to be natural with dogs. I've been with dogs for over 50 years, and I just have a thing with dogs, and they seem to have a thing with me. But I think anybody who is mindful of giving the dog what the dog wants, and giving the dog what the dog needs in the way that it's handled and the way that it's trained, not trying to make a little child out of it. You're not your pet's parent. That pet parent thing drives me out of my freaking skull. Because what that implies is that your dog is a human, and it is not. And it is a disgrace to expect a dog to be your child and to expect it to have the brain power of a human being, a human child, and expect it. I mean, it's so cockeyed and sick. I can't even say I can't even say it. You're the dog owner. You are the dog's God. Okay, that's what you are. You're the dog's God. It cannot open a can and feed itself. It cannot run water out of the faucet. It cannot run the climate control. It cannot groom itself, well, appropriately. It needs you for these things. You are the provider. If you don't feed it, it starves to death. If you don't give it water, it dies of thirst. You are your dog's God. And you are not your dog's mother, and you're not your dog's father, and your children are not siblings to your dog. Knock all that stupidity off. I don't know where that ever got started, and it's not elevating the dog at all. It's demeaning the dog. You have to respect a dog for what it is, and I do. I respect a dog for what it is, and I meet my dog's needs every day, and my dogs follow me around like dogs. So, but what I will give you a few specific things that you can do. Sit on the floor with your puppy. You've watched my videos on that, sitting on the floor with my litters. Every one of these dogs are out of your view, but they're all within my view, sniffing around in the woods. Sit on the floor with your puppy, scratch your puppy on the chest, scratch your puppy on the rear above the tail. Don't talk baby talk, don't pick it up and kiss it and chew on it, and don't stink. Dogs do not like cigarettes, they don't like alcohol, they don't like perfume, they don't like cologne. You know what, I just take a bath and then I wash my hands in liver. I mean, if you would do that, your dogs would love you forever. So you want to smell good to your dogs. You want to act like a normal human being and not like a squealing, weak basket case. Like these trainers in these videos. I know this video is getting long, but trainers in these videos, yes, oh, I mean, give me a break. Hey, yay, atta girl, yay, atta girl. I mean, it just makes me want to gag. Your dog doesn't want that, doesn't need that, and that's why there's so many dogs that have so much anxiety, is from all this ridiculous squealy training. And then you can do the hand targeting. You put a little piece of their food in your hand, and you put your hand down and have the dog come up and touch your hand. And you scratch the dog. I have done videos on that. And then you do it in motion. You just need to be interesting to your dog. And I'm going to encourage you to do this. Do all of this off of leash in your house or in a securely fenced area. Do not say sit. Do not say down. Stop nagging your dog. If you're trying to build a dog that will follow you around like my dogs do, stop. You probably will never, maybe, hear me say sit in a video or down in a video. I don't use those commands. They're useless for a pet dog. They're fine when they're puppies and you're just wanting to train, get a connection. You want to get your dog to understand that you're teaching it something, that if you do this, they do that, and they go, oh, I'm being taught something. They're absolutely useless commands. If you teach your dog to walk when you walk, stop when you stop, and keep 4 on the floor, then you're teaching them impulse control, and really sit and down is about impulse control. And so I don't nag my dogs with this stuff. So just be consistently the same emotionally around your dog. Do some hand targeting, do some targeting in motion, sit on the floor. Now, she's got an 8-week-old puppy she's trying to bond with. And you have to wonder if the breeder did any of this stuff. Probably not, since this dog doesn't want to bond to her. It really doesn't see a lot of use in human beings. So it's on her to sit on the floor with that puppy, maybe play with it with a toy, scratch it, all of that. Don't handle it in ways that scare it. Don't try to make a human baby out of it, kissing it and holding it and all of that garbage, smooching it. Don't do that. The dog doesn't want that. Don't stink. And try to relate to your dog as a dog and figure out what it is that makes your particular puppy or dog tick. What does it love? What does it want? And then make sure that stuff is coming from you, and you will become a lot more interesting, and then your dogs will walk when you walk, stop when you stop, keep 4 on the floor, and stick with you out in 40 acres of woods with no fence on one side. So thanks for watching. Hey, please drop your questions, drop your comments in the comment section below. Come on.